Hey, what's going on, guys?
Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Gurjot and Paul back with another episode of Talks with Paul and Gurjot.
Yo.
So this week, are the ideas we're gonna talk about our journey in the forex industry that me and Paul have had, our picking a strategy in the foreign exchange market, and a bit of CDO because the CDO season's finally starting next week.
You.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun, exciting, and
Very exciting.
Paul, yeah, Paul's also gonna be doing a breakdown on GJ.
hmm
He's gonna be taking the lead on that and then explaining what he thinks is gonna happen this week and how to go about it and everything like that.
Yeah. So do you we'll just start with you wanna start with the breakdown real quick? And
Yeah,
then we don't have to flip flop back and forth.
yeah,
Alright. Switch over real quick. Alright, guys. So, and you can see my screen, right, Gersh?
yeah,
Okay, so let me. These are kind of my zones from the week. I'll just clear those up real quick. Uh, so basically, what I'm seeing is last week we had just a range. We just sat on a range all week. And then this will be kind of our start for next week. But so basically, we were stuck in the range that we kind of ended with last week.
yeah.
So I'm just seeing this is kind of the top of our range here.
And this is on the 4 hour, just to
Yep.
let everybody know.
Yep. So we got the 4 hour time frame. So this is kind of the range I see that we had last week. And the way I'm looking at it is we were super bullish for we'll start here. We'll say 4 weeks, right? And
Yeah,
the end of last week we started to range. All of last week we sat in that range. So to me, the only way we can really change all this bullish structure for that we had for 4 weeks almost is to get a really strong range, break to the downside of that range, and then continue down.
yeah,
So it looks like we got the range. We're looking like we're breaking down. It's not super strong for a downtrend for me yet, but it looks like we are not going up yet. So unless
yeah,
we start breaking these highs, we're either going to continue ranging, and this is just a fake out, or we're going to start to move down uh, and start forming a downtrend.
yeah. And I was gonna say I agree with the fact that usually like after like a massive trend like that, it'll range and then like kind of decide where it wants to go, right? So that's what it looks like it's doing, and we're entering the phase of if it wants to continue in a bullish trend or like a bearish trend.
Yep, yeah. So for me, I still need to see some more information, but it looks like we are trying to go down. I just would want to see more,
Of a
like,
confirmation, a stronger confirmation.
yeah, like being a trend trader, like after seeing this week here, to me that was like, okay, we're gonna continue to move up, and then we had 2 really nice weeks of just straight buys, and then we got the range. So now once we get a nice, depending on how well we move down, once it's obvious that we are moving down, which it is right now, but after this big move, I still want to see some more information just to confirm what I'm
Yeah,
seeing, and then we'll look for some sells till we range or till we go back to buys. So that's kind of all I'm seeing is we had this range and we need some more information to see if this move down is going to kind of sustain itself to continue. If it does, we got this area to capitalize on. We got this area to capitalize on. We got this area and this area and this area. Like we got 5 opportunities right there just to capitalize off of the 4 hour, not even looking at 30 or 1 hour. So if we do come down, I'm not worried about missing anything because we got lots of opportunity. So it'll just be a matter of having enough information to then make that decision. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I agree with you. There's plenty of options, like as you say, opportunities. So there's no point of rushing anything, and then better to stay safe than get FOMO and be like, oh, it's going. Is like, eh, if it goes, it goes. Just don't worry. Safer bets are always better.
Yeah. Like the buys, there were so many opportunities for buys. We had 3 weeks of opportunities for buys, and if you caught it once, you caught a really nice trade. So
Yeah,
I'm just wait till we got a good setup and all that good stuff. So You got anything to add to the breakdown? That's pretty much it for me. Is just we're in an uptrend.
No,
We're ranging. Ideally, if we break the lows, start changing direction. That's how the market works. Or we keep ranging where we go up for now.
no, like for my strategies, like I only look at the 50-minute time frame, but just in general,
Hmm.
I would say is just because we also do start heading down a little bit, doesn't mean the trend's gonna change. So just for example, if we do head down to like another major support on a 4 hour time frame, doesn't mean that we're in a bearish trend now. It just means that it could be a larger pullback on a higher time frame, like a daily, or
Yep.
even like a massive bearish week. We can still have a massive bearish week and still be an uptrend, right?
Yep.
So it's like just be careful of everything like that. If you are looking to trading GJ, there's a and there's no rush, right? This last what was it? That was how many? That was 2 weeks full of range.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like clearly it's
Week and
been
a
ranging
half
for two
ish.
weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's no rush. Just try to get opportunities where you can, and just remember to always stay patient.
Yep. Yeah. There's a bunch of other stuff on the higher time frame. There's some daily and weekly information we could go through, but
Yeah,
I just wanted to keep it super simple. Like we don't need to do a full
that
breakdown. We just,
yeah. That's the main thing, keeping it simple. Even you don't. Yes, we are breaking it down, but as you can see, we're not looking too much into it. We're just waiting for information. That's
yeah,
the whole game of training, right? Just wait for the information. You don't got to read. Okay, this kind of broke down. Oh, it closed back in. Or it was like this is gonna happen. Don't even worry about that, man. Just
too much.
yeah, just advice. Just don't look into the chart. Like read the chart way too much because that is a issue that I think no one really mentions when you overread the chart.
Yeah, too much
And I think
analysis.
yeah, and I think that a lot of people do that because it makes them feel like a trader. It makes them feel like, oh, they're doing something when more importantly, it's better to do nothing sometimes, right?
Yeah, so we can kind of probably tailor that into the journey. So
Yeah, that
for
is that is a part of the the journey. I think a lot of people that no one even talks about. I don't think anybody ever mentions over reading a chart. Not maybe they
yeah,
have.
no,
I
I've
just
heard it a
haven't
little
heard
bit.
it.
I've heard it a little bit, but not a ton. Like
Yeah,
like the old days. I mean, like right
yeah,
now, I know just because I know GJ pretty well. We got some, I believe it's weekly or daily resistance up here where we had really strong sellers on the weekly or the daily. So I knew there was going to be an issue coming into this level, but I also know that we're going to need some sort of daily or weekly pullback to then continue this uptrend or we come back down, whatever it is. But
yeah,
now all that's important to me is does the 4 hour look good and make sense for just a super easy bias in terms of is price going up or is price going down with my horizontal
yeah,
lines on the 4 hour. The daily, the weekly doesn't matter. Ooh, there's weekly resistance. That stuff's not important. All that's important for my trades to be consistent. Does the 4 hour make sense for a direction up or down?
yeah.
Yes or no?
And
That's
then
it.
yeah, and then just leading off that is like that's one thing that you figure out by yourself, almost by trial and error over your journey of trading. Like I would say my so as of right now, I've been trading for about I think 4 years. I don't know exactly, but I would say roughly close to 4 years, maybe going on to like maybe just hitting 4 years or going on to 5 years. Just a rough amount of time, so it's not. I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself an expert. I was consider myself like. Somewhat of a knowledgeable person in the trading industry. So just starting off, I started with looking into the foreign exchange market at around I think 17 years of age. I didn't do much because I wasn't the age to trade or anything. I just that's when I first heard of it through cousins or friends, just through social media, just like everybody else. And I started off by just the real honest truth is it a scam, right? Because a lot of people there's a lot of scammers in the industry, like everybody knows. Everybody's always hiding behind these fake profiles, these fake profits. So it was like the first thing I did my research on to just try to see if it's a scam or if it's a legit sort of a avenue that you can go down. So that was the first year. Just there wasn't didn't do much more than that other than just trying to figure out if it was a scam or not. And then I quickly learned it wasn't a scam and this could be a future avenue of income. And then I was very lucky. I would say I've never been scammed in my life in this industry. I never paid for a course and never like paid for a mentor that was scamming. Any mentors I've ever had always had a really good education. And I started off originally was the OG everybody knows was Roger Banks and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So I got lucky because I got connected with him because he is from where I'm from, Canada. He was from around my neighborhood, so it's a relatable person. So that
Mhm.
was a big factor because he is from around my neighborhood. And then I started watching him. That was the first sort of real education I got. I didn't pay for his course ever. I didn't pay for any of his mentorship ever, but I watched his live stream and watch any of the free content he would post on Instagram or YouTube. So that was my first sort of mentor. I wouldn't say mentor, but like first sort of individual that gave me the education. Just because I'm not saying mentor, just because I never was in his course, never had that sort of access to him. But
Mhm.
anything free that was provided. So that's how I first started. And I started with personal accounts, just like everybody, blowing a million accounts, like small accounts, $100 accounts, $200 accounts, blowing accounts left and right the first 2 years and everything like that. And then the next individual I found was Paul. Me and I connected with Paul when he first started doing his Asian streams. I was just a viewer at first, just like everybody else, and then I got very lucky because I would say Paul, like back. This is I know back in the day. I don't know if you remember if the if people watching remember he would invite people from the chat that were consistent.
Mhm. I
Yeah,
remember that.
that's what that for our conversation first started. That's our first meeting when we started talking
That was
because he
back
would invite.
before I. That was back when I like just started and I was at my mom's house before we moved out and got the good internet.
Really?
Yeah, because remember the streams were always really like crappy quality
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we had this
yeah,
because I had the satellite internet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
because I had
that
to.
that's something that was a while back. That's how our relationship started because you just I was in the chat all the time
Mhm.
because Asian session worked for me, right? Just like I worked for you back in the day and everything like that.
Mhm. And I think the Call of
Uh,
Duty we connected on. Like as
yeah,
soon as the Call of Duty came up, we both like just bonded
yeah.
like so perfectly.
I think that's not even just you mentioned. I think that's a big factor in no in like having those mentors is being relatable to them. It's like if you can relate to them, it makes everything work like click times and more. The chemistry is there, just everything like that. Yeah, so that's how I first started talking to Paul, doing this, just going on more as at that point, it was more as a student. I wasn't like at his level. I was not any sort of good level. So it was more as a student because I think I'm an early started my journey. I didn't know what risk was. So I think you were the first, and like I knew it. People said, "Oh yeah, make sure you risk manage, make sure you have a trading plan." Everybody would say it, but they wouldn't explain it. And you were, I know, that's one thing I remember vividly. You're the first person to actually explain what risk management was and how you calculate it and how to figure out how much you should be risking on your account. So I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember that when you talking about making a plan and like actually having some sort of structure?
Yeah, yeah, I remember that because I think we talked about like fitness and stuff too, and I
Yeah,
think somehow we related it to like Call of Duty strategies to where like players had to be disciplined to where they pushed and stuff. So then we related that to like so and so doesn't push. He doesn't. You can't overextend as like an anchor. So like
yeah,
you can't overextend your account, and I believe it was something like that. But I remember the conversation on that at least.
yeah. So I think so. You're like the first individual to kind of get me introduced to a trading plan and like a risk manager. What it is, like no
Mm-hmm.
one. I can tell someone, "Oh, you manage your risk," but they're not gonna know exactly what that means, right? Like that means risking 1% of your account per trade, not risking full margin. I was like full margin half the time, or like 50% of my account, right? So that was the that's how that started, and then eventually I know you started your mentor group, and then that took off, and then your live streams, and me and you started live streaming, or you started live streaming, and I was one of a consistent like guest on it, and I think mine and your journey really took off there together because we both started feeding off each other, learning as much as we can, simulating together, and everything like that,
Yeah.
and like taking I was gonna say knowledge from all aspects. You brought in your knowledge, I brought in my knowledge, and I think our journey together both took off around there. And then you started your mentorship group, started really putting in work there and everything like that. Joined the group, and then after that, it reached a level where me and you were both at the same spot. And I took, I think the next sort of mentor I had in my journey was the Sharma FX, because I know me and you were both technical,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't. There's no fundamentals in both of our training and everything like that. So at one point, I wanted to learn more about fundamentals. and that's when I joined Sharma's group just to learn about fundamentals strictly. I tried to trade her age, not for me. So the reason why I joined the group was more for fundamentals because she's a fundamental genius.
Yeah.
I think we all know that and everything like that.
She's just great at everything. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
She's great at
That's what
everything.
that she's anybody looking at her. She's a very good person to look at as a mentor if they are looking for someone at a because she's so young. That's the
Mm.
crazy part. She's so young and she
She's been doing it
started
for so long
everything.
too.
Yeah, that's the thing. She started at such a young age, so she's like an expert in the field. She started, I think, when she was telling me like 13 or 14,
Yeah.
like just learning about the stock market, learning about any sort of avenues like that. So it's like I started at 17, so I thought I had a head start on people, right? Like you
Mhm.
started when you were how old are you when you started?
What was I? 25?
Yeah, so I
26?
so in my head, I was like
25.
I had 6 years over you, right? 6 more extra years of learning over
Mhm.
you because I started a lot earlier, so but like she started way earlier.
Yeah, it's crazy because I think we're both older than her, but she's got
No,
like,
I think she's older than me, but like not by much. I think by
hmm,
1 year or 2 years.
yeah.
Because
But,
I'm 21.
oh yeah, I think she's like 22 or 23.
Yeah, she's
But
you're
she's
older
got
than me for
like
sure.
8 or 9 years of experience. It's like, damn,
Yeah,
girl.
that's still wild for her.
That's,
Like
yeah.
she's only 22, but she has so many years of experience. So
Yeah. Her and
yeah, so that's a
Stefanos,
very
they both have just an insane understanding of fundamentals.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a big reason why I chose to go down that route when I was learning with fundamentals.
Hmm.
And then eventually after that, I learned that fundamentals wasn't for me. I can trade with it, but I didn't need it because of the session I was trading. That's one thing I realized in my journey because I was trading Asian session and
Hmm.
I started trading at a weird time in Asian session where no news is really coming out that's affecting
No.
my sort of trading style. So after that, I kind of stepped away. I had a bad. I think it was my third year or fourth year. I had a really bad, not last year, but the year before that, I had a bad time in trading because like stuff like the market started moving differently. I started like over trying too many strategies and everything like that.
Hmm.
So it's like I had to really figure my stuff out. So I think there's like a solid like I don't know how many months I don't because COVID time messes everybody up, right? It feels
Yeah.
like it's been it feels like it's been like 5 years when it's only been like two. But I
Hmm.
think there was a couple months where I kind of like stayed off the charts for a little bit
Yeah,
because
remember you
like I
took like
needed
like a
it was a
two or
couple
three
months
month
break.
break. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was a couple months because I needed a mental break because I was losing bad. Like I
Hmm.
don't you probably remember that, right? It's like I wasn't having a fun time trading and everything
Yeah. I mean,
like
we both
everything like
kind
that.
of took the whole last year off, like from
Yeah,
social media, from YouTube. We were
yeah.
grinding on trading besides the little short
Just
hiatus, but
yeah.
like we
People
had the whole year off of social media, YouTube, everything, live streams,
Yeah, and
mentoring
people
for me. There was no mentoring.
and people think that like because of that we stopped trading. That wasn't the case.
Mm-mm.
Continued trading. Me and Paul continued talking. After that, we have our separate
Like
chats
every
and things
day.
like that. And then like I know me and Paul's gonna have to clear up some things about that. That's like a further video, like
Yeah.
a video in the future that I know a lot of you guys probably have questions about that, which we will
Hmm. Yeah.
talk about and explain why and everything like that. There's nothing bad or
No.
anything. That it was just to, I think, more to clear our minds. But we'll talk about that, explain that more down
Yeah.
the
I mean,
road.
we can. Short version was just uh in the beginning everything was going super good. Trading was going phenomenally with the prop firms. Um, YouTube was flying. The mentorship was good. People in the group were learning and making like super good progress. Like everything was flying. And then my Instagram got stolen and like mentally, I don't know, I don't know
It's
what
draining.
happened,
It's
but like
draining.
it wiped me out mentally. So like the
Yeah.
Instagram was gone, which killed the group. Then I started to slack on the YouTube because I was like getting depressed or something. I just was just
There's a lot of
angry and
negative stuff
upset.
also. Yeah, there's a lot of negativity happening around the time and everything
And
that.
that, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
there
just,
was a bunch of factors.
yeah, and then it just mentally basically just
It was
drove myself into a hole and
yeah.
had to just take some time to get that mindset and mental strength back in check because I just realized, like, long term, if I take a year off, Market's going to be there when I get back, Instagram will be there when I get back, YouTube, everything will be there when I get back. If I take a year off to just really focus in on myself, my mind, and make sure when I come back that I have the tools I need to be successful. So,
Yeah, and with that being said, we'll make a more in-depth video and everything like
yeah.
that. With that being said, we that does mean that like this year, I think we're turning a notch up, turning up the gear on this year, and everything's back. Like you guys see, we're bringing back a podcast, maybe live streams in the future. I'm not confirming or
Yep.
denying that or even putting hopes,
Yep.
promises, but
Yep.
maybe
Thinking the next 4 to 12 weeks, it will be
yeah,
back for
maybe
3
live
days a
stream.
week.
I
Yep.
know, and I'm supposed to be posting a lot more charts, but I'm slowly getting back into that. You'll see, everybody will start seeing charts from me. Paul's gonna be more active on his Instagram and everything like that. So,
Yeah. Just
with
gotta
that
get
being
used
said,
to
we
getting
are
posting again. It was
yeah,
so weird not posting and now posting again. It's like
yeah,
gotta get used to it and adapt. But we're slowly like easing into it, and I think it's better to just slowly ease into it than to fully like live stream, podcast, Instagram, coaching. Like that's a
mentorship. You're bringing
lot.
back your mentorship, and like that's one thing I want
Eventually,
you guys
yeah.
to yeah, that's one thing I want you guys to hear about. I know he's creating a bunch of videos and everything like that. So there's gonna be a ton of information that Paul's gonna be providing.
Mhm.
He's already created a video with my strategy, more in depth of it.
Mhm.
So that'll be all on his mentorship whenever that's open, and I know he wants to do it properly and take his time with that.
Yep.
So be
Yeah.
patient with that, guys. So that's coming back and everything like that.
Yeah. I want to in air quotes. I want to do it right or better this time.
I wouldn't say right. I would say better.
I want to do it. I want to
Because
do
the
it
last group
better.
was good. We did a done there's always room for improvement. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it was perfect. I'm not saying
No.
every there's you can never be stagnant.
Yeah.
There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
It was just that everything happened all at once. I think that's
It
when
blew
it
up
can
so fast.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's different
So
this time because the I'm not I don't think we made a video yet, but like I'm not with prop firms anymore
oh yeah
right now at least. So you'll be seeing my live account. You'll be seeing that it's a real live account. It's my account, my name on it, all that stuff, which I never had in the past because I was always with a prop firm. So it's just gonna be different this time, and I
yeah
mean it's exciting, interesting. It'll be fun, but I want to really ease into it and just take it slow. So whenever I don't know when the mentorship's gonna open, could be a month or two. It could be 6 to 8 months. I could wait till after the wedding. So I
yeah.
don't know
So
yet. We'll see how things go.
I don't think a lot of people know what he is. Paul is getting married.
Mhm.
Congratulations to him. Everybody say congratulations. So with that being said, like he already said, like I think his focus is going to be on that down the
Mhm.
road when it does come closer to that.
Mhm.
So please stay patient with that.
Yeah, I don't want to
Uh,
put too much on my plate right away. I want to make sure that
yeah,
when I am gonna be going back to helping people again, that I actually am available to give them the time that they
yeah,
need and pay for. So
yeah. But the steps are in place. Like
yep,
we're taking correct steps to be back in place. The videos, the podcast will be up every weekend,
every
regardless of
week,
anything. Yeah,
unless one of us
maybe just not the
dies or
wedding week.
something.
Yeah, maybe just no, no, maybe just not the wedding week because I'm
Oh
gonna
no,
be up in. We can do
we're
a live
vlogging that
video.
bitch.
Yeah,
We are
yeah. That's what
gonna
I'm saying. We can
vlog
do
that.
yeah, because I'm gonna be up in. I don't know if many people know. I'm from Canada, so I'm gonna be flying up for Florida. Me, Bear is gonna be there. I don't know if many of you guys know who Bear is, but I
Yep.
call him Bear. I don't want to say his. I've said his last name in the last pod. His first name in the last pod, but
The people who
also
know will
for
know, and then
yeah,
Sammy's gonna come,
yeah.
uh, and
You
I
guys are gonna see.
believe there's one or two more people coming in the group
Yeah,
that
you're
we
gonna
just
see.
all connected and got super close with, and even with us taking that year off, it's not like we disappeared. It was like a group of 5 of us or 6 of us that were still talking every day and just working in silence together and helping each other grow and rebuild.
Yeah,
And so yeah, we all got really close, and it'll be definitely gonna make a vlog video because I think that would be not only awesome for like the wedding, but just like the first time seeing like people that
yeah.
you
That's been.
almost consider family that you've never even met. Like
Yeah.
it's wild. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah, but that's so be excited for that. June, rough in June. I'm not gonna say exactly, but in
Yeah.
June, that's when that
Yep.
month is gonna be one hell of a month.
Yeah, it's gonna be busy, but
Yeah.
It'll be so much. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun.
With that all being said and everything like that, why don't you explain your journey with how you started? Like you said, you were, I think, 25. You were saying when you
Yeah, I
first
believe
started.
25 or
I thought you were 24, maybe 24. I would say.
24, turning
Yeah,
25, like really
yeah.
close. But started with first mentor was D Gibby. I haven't talked to him in a while, but shout out to him. He was super helpful and really got me started. And then I believe he actually put me on to Rakeel or Wicks Don't Lie. Uh, super. I haven't talked to him in a long time either, but I mean he's I'd still say one of the best out there doing it. Um, and then kind of halfway through the journey, met him, which was super awesome. Like meeting your idols and people you look up to. That was super like that was super fun because that started the YouTube channel and really like launched me into the trading industry like incredibly fast, which was great, but maybe not great for me at the speed that it happened. But either way, wouldn't change anything. And then,
You learn
um,
from the experience.
yeah, exactly. It was definitely a good experience to learn from. But then had a job in the beginning, was trading, found out about prop firms, FTMO, jumped on with them, started doing really good with them and making more money than I was at my job. Left my job to pursue that, the YouTube and the trading on the prop firms. Looking back now, I should have not done that, but now I know for the position I'm in now, which is good. So it worked out in the end, but then did that, had about 2 years of that going super good, and then mentally just crashed, went downhill. Um, and I would say the short version we'll do. I'm sure eventually once we get live streams going, people are gonna have more questions. We'll collect all the questions and really get in depth with it. But like short version, I think I just mentally the skill was there, but mentally I wasn't
You're
ready
burnt
to
out.
trade long term full time.
Yeah, I
And
think it
because
mentally drained you.
yeah, the social media everything and losing everything and it just mentally wiped me out. And then eventually I wiped myself out trading.
Yeah,
So um, that's the short version. But like I said, eventually we'll get into a longer version because it's part of the journey and it's got to be shared because I think there's a lot that I mean it's going to be
yeah.
super personal for me that I got to share all that. But I think there's a lot of good stuff
Truth.
in the journey to learn from
Yeah,
that.
this is the thing. It's honesty that a lot of people. It's honest. It's honesty
Hmm.
that a lot of people won't get from other people, and like the reality of trading. They're like,
Yeah,
everybody's does hides and doesn't tell the truth. So it's
yeah,
the reality of trading.
yeah. And I like to be. I mean, I'm sure most people know. I mean, we both like to be very transparent with everything and yeah, there's
Yeah,
probably some parts that I don't. I like, even just saying, like, in the beginning, we were at the top. We were kicking butt. We were making lots of money. And then things went downhill. And I mean, personally, I lost all of it. So I have had to completely restart, which is not, it doesn't feel good to say, I guess. But I mean, it's part of the journey, so I'm not going to be like,
yeah.
yeah, guys, I did super good, and then, I just went MIA while I was also doing super good, and now I'm back and I'm still doing super good. Like, no, that's not actually what happened. Like, things got bad and had to take care of business, but
With that being said, though,
bounced back.
yeah, after the I think the hiatus and everything,
Hmm.
the down on the roller coaster. Last year was the year you and even me and other traders. Last year was the year that we put our heads down and work silently. So that was a
Hmm.
part of the journey. Also, we all put our heads down, started working silently, getting back on top of everything, and then
Just kind of eliminate all that extra noise that
yeah,
it was really good to just all of us kind of we were all together, but we were all like building
our own styles of
privately as
trading.
well.
Yeah, we
Hmm.
were building our own styles of trading, which is a big key. You got to figure out what strategy works for you. Not everybody trades the same.
Hmm.
And with that being said, now I think both of us are on this journey at in the spot where we worked our asses off last year, and we're now back in the public eye and starting this new journey of rebuilding the social media side of it and and showing the reality and helping others back. So we're back on that this side of it. And who knows what holds in 2022, right?
Yep, exactly. It's gonna be fun. I mean, I'm excited. I really missed it. I mean, as we both know, we both love helping people and being involved and engaged in the trading community. Even though some parts of it, you just got to deal with people that suck, and like that's every industry. But there's so much good that just like the people we connect with, like me and you connecting, that is like so awesome. And we got all the people like Jamie, Sammy, John, um, all the other people we met, Sharma, Harrison, Stephanos.
Stephanos, yeah.
Like, there's so many good people that it just crushes the bad. But there's always that aspect of it. It's just when you enjoy something and you kind of figure it out, it just feels good to help somebody and help them kind of figure it out.
Yeah. And
So I guess transitioning into that, we kind of hit our journey, and one of the things we both kind of touched on was finding our own strategy.
yeah,
What do
I
you
think that was
think is like how do you find that? What are the best ways to find it? Like what are your thoughts on that? I
I
guess.
think there's no quick way. That's one thing, I'll be honest. That's one thing I can say for sure. There's no quick way, right? There's
Come
no quick way.
on.
You might get lucky. Also, this you might get lucky in the first strategy you try, and that's like works for you. So
Hmm.
there is a chance of luck in it, no matter what. But there's no quick way. You gotta, I would say, and I think you would agree on this, is just trial and error. And with that being, so it's like you don't know in your journey, you're trying to figure out what type of trader you are. Just like in life, you're trying to figure out what type of person you are, right? So there's trial and error. So it's like you can first like there's people that thought they were scalpers and they started with some sort of scalping strategy. It could be breakout, it could be impulse trades, it could be trading the trend, it can be any sort of scalpers. But then they realized over time, hey, no, I'm more of a patient, calm trader. I can hold trades longer and might do swing trades over a couple days, couple weeks. So I think there's a lot of trial and error with that. Like I would say, I think one of the strategies I used to use back in the day, and they worked for a while, but it wasn't consistent as I wanted it to be, was higher highs and higher lows. That was a big thing that I was doing, where I was wait for it to break up out of a range, create a higher low or a lower low or whatever, and then continue taking that with the trend. So that was one strategy I used to use back in the day, and then I kind of had to step away from that. So it's just trial and error, right?
Hmm.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say trial and error, and just it's like a self journey. You got to kind of figure out what your personality can handle, or what you what skills you need to acquire to be able to do the thing you want. Like if you want to be a breakout trader, but you're not patient enough to wait for a range and then wait for the breakout, but you really want to make breakouts your strategy because you like it, then you got to acquire the skill of patience to do that. So I think it goes both ways. Like you could get lucky, or you just know what skills you have, and if you know you're a
Yeah.
patient person, you pick a strategy that's super simple like you have that just requires patience.
Yeah,
So,
with you saying one thing that I forgot to mention, with you saying that like you got to see what skills that you have and you acquire.
and you don't
I think
have
one of the
to.
skills, yeah, one of the skills
Yeah.
that I told you, I started telling you recently that I don't require is discipline. Because yeah, like I really don't. I suck at discipline in like my daily life, like my diet. I suck at discipline. Sometimes staying really consistent in gym. Sometimes I take extra breaks. Like in
But you've been
general,
going like so,
yeah,
you
this is
know.
things is in general, discipline is one thing that I kind of lacked, and that's one thing that hindered my trading. I didn't realize until I would say I didn't admit that until like last year.
Hmm.
And with that being said, is like one strategy really is I need prop firms because prop firms help me stay disciplined. They have those rules. So
Hmm.
that's like that. A prop firm is for me is not a prop firm. It's more a strategy, and in with my strategy, it forces those rules on me. Was like you, I know, are very disciplined in life because I think the discipline kind of I don't know, but I would say built through your gym because we're really into lifting everything.
Hmm.
So I think that's where you build your discipline, and then where you can. I have a personal account too, but it's not as good as my prop firm account, obviously. And then while you work 10 times better on your live account when your personal account because you're so disciplined in your strategy, right?
Yeah, that didn't. I never would have. I thought I did good on the prop firm accounts, which I mean I think I did fairly good. I mean I did 10% plus every month with them, but
Yeah. It's not for
their
everybody.
yeah, but their rules, it's like on my account. if there's no trades that's set up all week, I won't. I'll just sit there and take no trades all week. But on the prop firm, it's like, okay, I have to take a trade pretty much every day or at least every other day. So it's
Yeah.
like it was like forcing me to take trades where if I didn't like it now on my account, I'm just like, okay, bye. I'll come back tomorrow. We'll see how it sets up, see if it's moving better. Where
Yeah.
then it was like I don't like it, but how can I kind of squeak a trade out? And then it just kind of you get a bad trade here, bad trade there, and then those two losses during the week mess you up. And so yeah, I don't know. It's good for. I mean, it's good right now for me, but it was
That's what
just.
I'm saying.
It's weird that not weird,
It
but
works for me, but it doesn't work for you.
yeah,
That's one thing in relation with strategy that everybody has to. That's what I'm saying with trial and error, right?
yeah. It's
Like
different
you
for
gotta,
everyone. Like prop firms,
yeah,
you're dominating, and I was doing decent, but now I'm like dominating on my account. You're dominating on the prop firms. Like,
yeah. Where I know for a fact, I'll 100% admit it. Like if I have my own personal account, live account,
mm,
I know for a fact I'll start over risking and over trading just because I know I can. Just I
yeah,
don't have those rules set in place,
hmm
right? I'm
hmm
not strong enough mentally, which I'm admitting I'm not with the discipline where hey, no, I have to follow. I have to not take this over this percentage of trades a day, right?
hmm So
But you can.
do you think the prop firms are like helping teach you and strengthen your discipline to where
Yeah,
you will, when you do go to your account, you're gonna have that skill?
100%. I think that's what I'm working towards. I'm
Hmm
not saying I'm there yet because there is days where sometimes like I was like like I want to take a trade, I want to take a trade, and I still struggle with it, just like everybody else, right? You have good
Yeah.
days and bad days,
hmm
but that's the idea behind for me idea behind the prop firm and like having those rules in place, and eventually, hopefully, on my when I have a much larger personal account and I'm trading my personal account full time only, that's what I can do.
hmm
But I will say for a fact that when I do start trading only my personal account, I think I'm gonna struggle with it, just because I'm gonna go from being so like restricted in those rules to not being restricted. But I hope that I won't be struggle with it too much.
It'll just be like a transition you gotta kind of
Yeah,
adapt to.
yeah. So, so I just want to make sure that I say this. So, my strategy that I'm using is breakouts on 15-minute time frame only. I let it range and break out an Asian session.
Mm.
And that's the name. That's the name that everybody calls that type of trading. So, what would you say yours is exactly, so people understand?
I would say I'm a trend trader. Basically, I'm just looking for the 4 hour to be obviously, like extremely obviously pushing up or extremely obviously going down. And then I'm just waiting for resistance on the 1 hour, 30 minute, or 4 hour. Any one of those time frames, I'll trade closes and then breaks to the high or the low of those candles. With the trend, anything counter trend never happens. It could be like the most perfect textbook trade for sells, but if the market's in an uptrend, it doesn't even register that there's a trade. So I
Yeah.
would just say trend trading, support and resistance. It's just super simple. And then kind of the higher time frame entries. So
Yeah, so those are our strategies, and the advice that I will give from my personal experience and everything is trial and error. Your
yeah.
first strategy, you may think it's the best strategy and you know how to do it, but regardless of that, still try other strategies to see what you don't know if it's what you like unless you try other things, right?
hmm
So just like in real life, you don't know what food you like unless you try other food, right? So that's what my advice is. You got any piece of advice for them?
Yeah, same thing. Just try stuff and don't look, at least in the beginning, obviously, trading to be successful, you need to make money. That is what we're here to do. We're all here to make money. But in the beginning, it's not so much about making money as much as while you're finding your strategy, just finding something that you relate to and understand. Like, if you understand price going up and you need to wait for buys, and like that just always clicks in your head, or you understand breakouts. Like, just find what is simple and that you can see easily and just make it profitable. Because I think you can
Yeah.
make anything profitable. You just have to do it long enough and learn enough about it. So it doesn't matter if it's profitable or not in the beginning, but whatever you pick, you need to stick to it for a minimum of 6 months to gather enough data to understand if it actually works or not. Because sometimes it could work, but you just make poor decisions.
Yeah.
So,
And talking about data and predictions and everything like that. We have the 2022 CDL season coming up, so it's like I want to
You.
ask you, what are your
Oh man.
predictions for this season?
Oh
For we
man.
have so we
You.
have
Optic baby.
next.
Optic.
Obviously, I know you're an Optic Texas fan, just like
Hell
me.
yeah.
I understand that, but
Well, you are
without any
too.
bias, without any
You.
bias,
You
we
are
have
too,
the.
though, aren't you?
Pardon me.
I thought you were too.
Yeah, I am. I am. So
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
100%. I
Okay.
am.
I thought.
Shotzi, Stumpy. You already know Illy,
Oh,
Dashy. That's gonna be
this
a
friendship
disgusting
almost
team.
ended. Oh
No,
man.
no, 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 no. I am. But I was just say coming up with this. We have the preseason coming up next week. It's not for points. It's not for anything. It's just to kind of see the team and just to get the season started.
hmm
So based off the 12 team roster, who do you think is like what the top five teams based off their player history and like last season? I know there's a new team, Boston Breach, that we got to talk about and anything like that. So who do you think are like the top five or top six? We'll do top six, so 50%. Top six teams are.
Top six. Okay. So first, I'm just gonna pick them because it's the favorite. We're gonna go Optic Texas.
Yeah,
Optic Texas. Um,
I'll agree with that.
and then but see, so the only thing that I don't know because last year Toronto were Ultra. They were filthy. They were
Yeah,
like they were second. It was Phase Ultra and then like the rest of the teams.
yeah.
But they haven't. So the last I heard, I think I heard it on the Optic podcast last week or something. Ultra has not even scrimmed yet. They've done no scrims
At
because
all?
they don't. Yeah, because they don't have a third game mode yet, so they're not scrimming yet.
Oh, I haven't even heard about this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So,
But
but
they
I'm gonna.
they have to be practicing. You can't like they have to be doing
I
something
think they're playing, but they're not like scrimming.
like
At
other
least they
teams.
weren't scrimming as a team. I don't know. Maybe they are,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
the
maybe not as a team, but they're remember they do the eights and everything like that. Maybe they're doing
yeah,
something like
they're
that.
definitely playing, but I don't
Yeah,
think they're. Maybe they are. Maybe I heard wrong, but
but you
I
but you don't
swore
know, bro.
Scum.
Like,
I swore Scum said on the Optic podcast that Ultra hasn't even team scrimmed yet.
but it is Toronto Ultra. Like, look, they have Kleenex,
They're gonna be
disgusting.
nasty,
Insight,
nasty.
disgusting. Like, Bance, Cammy. The Cammy's untouchable, right?
Yeah, for
Like,
real. That
Cammy's
filthy,
disgusting.
filthy.
And then Insight on the S&D, like the S&D is always a game mode, so it's like
Yeah. So, but I mean,
yeah,
okay. So I mean,
it might hinder them at the start, but I think in the long run, they're still top six.
oh yeah, I think so too as well.
So we'll say
If anything, maybe
Optic
they suffer from
Texas.
the first event, or like the
Yeah,
first online qualifier, or the first whatever pops up. But after that, I mean, they'll be rocking. So okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna go Optic first,
yeah.
and then I'm gonna go Phase.
Because
Uh,
you gotta put them on there because they're last year's champs. Like
yep, you got to. And
yeah,
they study the game so well. Uh,
yeah. They have so many coaches. That's one thing.
that's true.
I think a
Yeah,
lot of people are
Crowder's good, and then they got Tupac as their
Tupac.
S&D coach
Yeah,
now.
that's the
Yeah,
thing. Disgusting.
yeah, he's oh man. Did you watch that tournament that they
No,
did where
no,
Tupac played?
no, no. I
Oh
haven't
man,
seen that
he
yet.
had some. It was the throwback one where they played like Crash and Vacant and stuff like
Yeah,
that, and he had strats for everything.
that's what I'm
It was
saying. That's what I'm saying.
wild.
So they have the coaches to help them. So
Yeah,
it's Optic,
Optic
Phase.
Phase, Toronto,
Yeah,
Rocker.
yeah.
And then for fifth,
There's
I'm gonna say Methods team because I've heard
really
I've heard they're
you
nasty, man. I've
you're
heard they're nasty.
putting them over. First of all, you're putting them over Thieves, Gorillas, and New York. Do you know
I'm
who's on
putting
the
New York.
subliners, bro? They're
I'm putting New
C6
York
and
at
Clay
sixth.
together.
I'm putting Subliners sixth.
Isn't it, bro? Isn't it a known fact though when C6 and Clay are together, they never lose, they never lost the champs? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, I think it
I
is,
think that's the
but
thing.
I
With
mean,
the Hydra,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I
think I
can't
don't.
believe you put Boston over them, bro.
No, man. I think they're freaking. I don't think their subs are gonna be dominant enough to
No,
compete
Hydra
and
is.
to
I don't know
be.
about Neptune.
Okay, yeah, those two are good. Okay, yeah, I
They
don't
might
think.
not be. They might not be able to mend well together, but they're individually their skill.
Yeah, but Clay and Krim, I think, like Toronto,
They're
I
gonna.
think Cammy and Insight, they wax Krim and Clay.
Yeah, but the experience. You also got to see the. I mean, Toronto's also been in so many like game sevens now, and like have pressure
Like
on them and everything like that. So
Krim and Clay have the years of experience, but Toronto, I mean, they were in almost every final last
yeah,
season, so it's not like
but
they're
I
like, oh
can't.
my God, we're in a final, we're playing Krim. It's like they don't care.
Yeah,
They've won, they've been there, you know. So
for
I
me, I just
think
can't believe you put Boston up there though over them.
I just Methods is
TJ, what did
good.
TJ do last year, bro? He did nothing last year.
Yeah, but
He
they've
did
been
nothing.
good.
Even when he was like, yes, he would have some. He wasn't consistent. I'm not saying he did nothing. Just he wasn't consistent in his play. Like sometimes you'll go off, and then
Yeah.
sometimes you'll just be a no show.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we flip flop it, but I think they're gonna be up there
We
this year.
yeah, we don't know. We don't know. We gotta see them play. So this is
They're because I've heard their scrims. They're they're pushing the top teams pretty heavy.
sorry. So you
So
got Tech, you got Optic, Atlanta FaZe, Ultra, Boston. Who's 5 and 6?
it was Optic, Phase, Toronto,
Yeah,
Rocker,
Rocker. Oh, Rocker.
Rocker.
Rocker. Yeah,
Standy's just nasty.
disgusting.
Their whole team.
He's.
Their whole team.
I was a while back. I heard he was like I don't know what it was. I forgot what the stat was or whatever. But he's just like a Beezy. He plays just like a Beezy. But like he just get. I don't think he gets the recognition of maybe from last year. Now he's gonna start getting
Hmm.
more recognition.
Oh
But
yeah,
like his play style and everything very similar to a Beezy.
he's
Like
very
how he's
aggressive.
always first there and everything. And his first. I think it was first Bloods. I'm not sure, but I know Beezy like takes a lead on that usually. But I think it was first Bloods. He was
He was
pretty
right
much up
there.
there with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Optic,
I
Phase, Ultra, Rocker, fifth. We'll go New York Subliners and then Methods team.
Yeah, the LA. Oh no, the Boston.
Yeah, yeah, Boston.
I'll say the same thing. I'll say Optic, Phase, Ultra for sure, and then I would actually instead of Rocker, I'm gonna go with I think either Los Angeles Gorillas or Grulers or whatever their name is, or Thieves,
But
because
who's even on LAG?
LAG has a seam. Who's it? LAG has a seam, hook, slasher, and then I forgot who their other AR is. Let's
Oh, they
see.
don't have the updated roster. As I still see Silly App, Assault and Sheen, and that's
No, no, no.
not.
It's a seam, gunless, hook, and slasher.
Yeah.
That's the LAG team. So and then thieves have
So that could be they could be good. They
that's what I'm
could be
saying.
really good this year.
A seam as the kind of communicator.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
Slasher
And
too.
then
He's got the
hook,
experience.
yeah,
Gunless
hook
too.
hook as like more of like the slayer. Like that's a disgusting team. And then who's on thieves? I know there's Kenny. Okay, so it's Draza, Envoy, Kenny, and Octane. Oh my God, bro! Thieves, Octane, and Kenny together.
I'm pulling it up.
That's disgusting. You're telling me that's not gonna be disgusting? Like this season, there's so many good teams, bro. Like it's actually gonna be way more competitive. Hopefully they mend. We don't know if they're gonna mend well together. A player can be disgusting on their own,
Yeah. Who's on
but
Thieves
like
again?
Draza, Envoy, Kenny, and Octane.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be. I forgot about
That's what I'm
Envoy.
saying, bro. This year,
Yeah, they're
bro,
gonna be.
it's gonna be what?
I put them over the
Hopefully,
subliners for sure.
I
All
would agree with
day.
you there. I would
All
agree
day.
because one thing, like Envoy is the route player. You got that unlock.
Yep.
Draza, we've seen Draza go off last year.
Draza's
He's
like he can slay with the sub too, and so can Envoy though.
Yeah, at Draza, I don't know who's playing sub, Draza or Kenny, but I'm assuming Draza's gonna and then Kenny and Octane gonna take the
Yeah.
AR lead. I don't know. I haven't heard. I haven't watched any
Kenny and
podcasts.
did you say Kenny and Octane?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they're both running AR for sure.
yeah. So
Yeah.
but I also do know Kenny was disgusting with the sub on the PPSH. So
Yeah.
that's also the thing to look up for.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. So I think this season,
It's gonna be interesting.
like
Next weekend's the first. It's the Rock. Is it the Rocker tournament or was
no,
that?
it's preseason. So no, next week is preseason. There's not worth any points. It's just to see just to get the season started.
Gotcha.
So that's where we're gonna know more information. And then that video might end up being no. I was gonna say because they have the Sunday matches. We won't be able to talk about the Sunday match, but we will talk about the Saturday and Friday matches and everything like that.
Yeah, because we'll just
So
do
we'll
it late
see.
on Saturday again.
Yeah, we'll see what they can come up with on Saturday and how they play and everything. I'm excited. It's like
Should be a good
ton of
weekend.
it's way more competitive this season than last season when everybody knew FaZe was on top and like
They just
everybody was
smoked
trying to
everyone
beat
every time.
FaZe.
Because I mean,
Yeah, so
Ultra beat them once, but after that, it just like they'd
yeah,
trade a few maps, and then FaZe would pull ahead by two, and then it was over.
yeah. So I'm hoping this year I think we have a solid top 6 or 7 teams.
Yeah.
that can bounce back and forth. It's not going to just make the top two teams only. So it was solid top 6 or 7 teams. That's going to be really competitive and everything like that. And with that being said, I'm just excited, and I know you're excited and everything like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It feels like it's been forever since I've watched the tournaments like before last year, like every we'd get like 2 weekends in a row of matches and then a weekend break and
Yeah.
then 2 weekends in a row. It was so nice. Like every
Hope
weekend, just all day Saturday on the couch watching the games.
hopefully, with that being said, is I hope that is LAN. Like I don't know if they're doing online season. I gotta
From
focus.
what I saw, it's kind of both. There's like an online qualifier, and then
Yeah,
each team has like their own tournament basically, which is a LAN.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they have their own online qualifier and then a LAN based on the the like rankings is from the online
Yeah.
one, and then there's
Hope
the mid-season majors, and then the like championships.
Yeah, and hopefully down in the middle of the season everything's online, but like some LAN events better than like is better than all online.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, with that being said, do you have anything else you wanna mention or talk about or anything?
No, I think we hit everything really, really good, and next week we'll have a lot of good
Next week you might
talk
have a
about the
special
matches,
guest
and we got a special
also.
guest next week. We got our
Yeah,
own
so
Harrison joining us
yeah,
next week.
HFX is gonna be joining us, so you guys can if you guys we'll put a poll up on Instagram, both of us, and ask if you have any questions for him
Hmm.
and his mentorship because I know he has a mentorship and everything like that.
Yep. We gotta. I don't
Other
know. I don't
than
know if he knows anything about Call of Duty, but we'll figure that out. But
yeah,
yeah,
other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed listening and took some valuable information from this topic about journey and strategy, and even just hopefully we got a couple new COD fans. You know, bring them into that
yeah.
industry and everything like that.
Introduce some new fans.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. We
Other than
had kind of a
that,
long one today, but I think we hit some good topics.
yeah. Other than that, this was your boys Paul and Gurja on the podcast Talks with Gurja, and then I'll say have a good day, guys.
See you later. Have a good one.